This is Jay with Digital Hype TV. Today we're reviewing the Sony Time-Lapse app. Basically puts an intervalometer inside your camera so you can create time lapses wherever you go, all for $10. You can get the app from the Play Memories App Store, which is available on compatible cameras and also online. How good of a deal is this? Well, for $10, you can have an intervalometer built inside your camera, or for $15 to $150, you can get this garbage and this garbage. That's where we're gonna have the pictures come in. Right? This app is pretty user-friendly. It has a few presets for people who aren't familiar with creating time lapses, but I personally like shooting in the custom mode. Lets you fine-tune all of your settings, and it's a little trial and error, but I feel like it gives you the best control over your time lapse. You can also fine-tune the settings in the presets, but not as much as in custom mode. So let's actually take a look at these settings inside the time-lapse app. What can I say that's funny?
That?
I like the file format settings. You can create a time lapse as either directly to video, stills, or stills and video. Direct to video is probably better if you're not too familiar with creating a time lapse. It just takes the pictures for you, and then you can view it as a video on your camera, or you can upload it to your computer. You can also set the interval between your shots, which is basically how long the camera waits before taking another shot. Then you have the amount of shots that you want to take for your time lapse. The app has a duration area, so if you change your interval or if you change the amount of shots you want, your camera will let you know how long it will take to finish a time lapse. This is one of the best features of the time-lapse app, the auto exposure settings. You can lock the auto exposure so that your camera doesn't change any shutter speed or iris settings while it's shooting, or you can set it to tracking, which allows the exposure to adjust smoothly while you're taking your time lapse. This is really useful if you're doing a day to night time lapse where the exposure will drastically change in a matter of hours. We've looked at all the settings. Now let's go outside and take this pony for a ride. So we're just gonna set up a time lapse right here at the corner. Just show what the app can do. Right now we're using the Manfrotto B3. This is light, easy to carry around. We reviewed this tripod. If you want to see more information, we'll have a link below. We're gonna post up for a time lapse right here. We're gonna get a real low angle. We're gonna shoot on the 10-18. I like shooting wide angle because it really emphasizes the movement on screen. So we're gonna go for a 10-second time lapse, one shot every second. Here's a time lapse of me doing a time lapse. It started at 10:15 and then ended at 10:24. So even though it says right here in the settings that it'll take is a 4-minute duration, it actually ended up taking around 9 minutes. So you still have to do a little bit of math to figure out how long you're gonna be there. So the duration thing, it's not really that useful. It gives you like an idea of how to do the math. And another thing to know about this app is that there's a lot of lag when you go in and out of different menus. So right now we're in the play menu, and if I hit menu to cancel, it'll take quite a bit of time for all these settings to load up. And if I want to head back to the menu, there's a little bit of lag to do that. But anyways, to the time-lapse footage, I've noticed that the time lapses in camera, they don't look that impressive when you compare them to the actual time lapse that shows up when you import your footage or your stills into the computer. So you can take these previews with a grain of salt when you play them from your camera. Right now, it looks pretty nice. I really like the B3. It was nice and steady for this. You really need a steady tripod for time lapses. And we're gonna grab a few more before we head back and wrap up for the night. So then I shot him in cold blood. Hey, pizza. That was the Sony Time-Lapse app, and you know, we're not sponsored by Sony yet, but I really like this app. You know, it's basically an intervalometer. It's $10. It's cheaper than like any good intervalometer that you can find on Amazon or B&H, and works just as well. The auto exposure is really nice. It's not perfect, but you know, you can fix that in Lightroom if you're shooting in RAW. And you know, I think for the price, it's an amazing value if you want to get into time-lapse photography, you know, professionally, or even as, you know, just kind of a hobby. With the presets, it's really friendly, and you know, A+ Sony, you did it again. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. I'm Jay with Digital Hype TV. Next week, I'll show you how to make a macro lens out of a soda can and a magnifying glass. This is Jay. I did it again. I just want to make videos. I just want to cake it from these YouTube checks, man. So that was the time-lapse app from Sony. It was pretty good. I'll give it 3 JPEGs out of a RAW.